Dr. McHenry, I thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Everybody's doctor.
Dr. Goodspeed, thank you for being here. Thank you for testimony. I think you said it very well. In what I said in my opener is that Democrats blame everything but their own fiscal policy for the inflation we're seeing. So that's fine. Let's just accept that. That's fine. So their explanation is corporate greed. What's your response?
Thank you, Ranking Member McHenry, Dr. McHenry.
Ha.
So my response is, as I noted in my opening remarks, if the causal explanation is corporate profit seeking, why do we only observe this emerging in 2021? Why do we observe this emerging only in the United States when market concentration by some measures has been rising globally? If it is a matter of concentration, market concentration, why are we observing a general increase in the price level rather than relative price increases in more concentrated sectors?
So along those lines, has there been an industry segment where you see collusion that has been driving up the price of goods?
Not that I have observed, and when I look at the correlation between measures of market concentration and observed increases in the consumer price index in 2021, I see a negligible correlation.
Okay, so there's not evidence of significant consolidation in calendar year 20 or 21 that would indicate something different than pre-pandemic.
Not that I've seen.
Okay, so so much for that scapegoat. So record prices get down to this general principle that we understand, which is too much money chasing too few things. And is that what's happening here?
Fundamentally, I think that is what is happening. And actually, when we look at the pattern of the increases in demand for goods specifically in 2021, as I said, we had month over month a 10.7% increase in demand for goods in March 2021. That was 240% annualized increase. Goods consumption had been already about 7% above trend heading into March. It then surged to 19% above trend and ended 2021 at 22% above trend. As I said, our supply chains did a remarkable job handling that excess demand. I would not place the blame at the supply chains.
Okay, so the supply chains are then a representation of the underlying economic fact, right? So that would be, that's not the prime mover here. It's a secondary effect of the economic policy?
I would say it is predominantly a symptom rather than a cause.
Symptom rather than cause. Okay, so then are we in a unique position compared to the rest of the world? How do we compare with the Europeans? COVID hit mainland Europe in a significant way, just like it did in the United States. How do we fare against the Europeans and over the last year?
Right, so as I noted in my opening remarks, the increase in the rate of inflation in the United States relative to the Euro area was about 3 times greater. If we try and extend the harmonized series into 2022, that rises to 5 times greater. As you noted, we were all exposed to some of the same global shocks in 2021. In the United States, in 2021, the magnitude of the increase in the demand stimulus was just orders of magnitude greater than in the rest of the advanced economy world. And at the same time, we engaged in active measures that further impaired some of those supply side constraints.
Okay, so bad economics have driven this inflation question. Democrats control the House, the Senate, and the White House. They had a $2 trillion bill to juice the economy at the very time the economy was ripe to open, and that's why we've exacerbated the problems. You raised this question. You stated this. Their actions, the Democrat policy actions of last year, raised the implicit tax rate on returning to work. What does that mean? Simplify that for me. What does that mean for the average person? What do they experience as a result of these policies?
What that means is that when you have things like the extension of supplemental federal unemployment insurance benefits into September, that's a year and a half into the economic recovery, when you effectively eliminate work requirements for an expanded child tax credit, that lowers the rate of return on work relative to not working.
And therefore, we have a hangover effect from those bad policies.
That likely slowed the recovery in labor force participation in the United States in 2021.
Bad policy, bad economics, bad outcomes. I yield back.